Breaking news. Eala takes on WTA champion Victoria Mboko in Ultimate Tennis Showdown. The world of tennis stood still for a moment. News flashed across sports networks, Twitter feeds, and giant screens in Times Square and Manila alike. Breaking. Eala to face reigning WTA champion Victoria Mboko in the Ultimate Tennis Showdown. It was a clash fans had dreamed of but never thought they'd see so soon. A duel between two rising powerhouses who had redefined youth tennis with their contrasting brilliance. The calm and calculated Eala versus the fierce and fearless Victoria Mboko. The venue? The Hong Kong Coliseum, transformed into a cathedral of light and sound. The stakes? Pride, prestige, and the pulse of a generation. For both women, it was more than a match. It was a moment of destiny. The calm before the roar. It was an evening painted in electric blue. The lights of Hong Kong shimmered like diamonds across the harbor, reflecting the fire of anticipation brewing inside the Coliseum. Thousands of fans gathered, their flags waving like waves, Filipino tricolors beside Canadian maple leaves. Chants of Alex, Alex, clashed with cries of Let's Go Victoria in a symphony of excitement. Backstage, Alex. Eala sat quietly in the locker room, eyes closed, headphones in. She wasn't listening to music. She was visualizing. Every serve, every backhand, every rally. She'd done it since childhood, a ritual that kept her mind sharp and her nerves steady. Across the hallway, Victoria Mboko was pacing. The newly crowned WTA champion had been unstoppable all season. Her raw power and unflinching aggression had carried her to titles across Europe and America. Now, she faced a challenger she respected deeply, a player known not for brute strength, but for something even more dangerous, strategic brilliance. When a journalist asked her before the match what she expected from Eala, Mboko grinned. Expect a fight, she said. Alex doesn't back down. That's what makes her dangerous. And in her calm, poised way, Eala had replied during her own pre-match interview. I don't need to be the loudest on the court. I just need to be the last one standing. A tale of two champions. Before the first serve was struck, let's rewind their journeys. Two paths that began on different continents, yet led to the shared stage of destiny. Eala, the 20-year-old Filipina prodigy, rose from the tropical courts of Manila to the clay battlegrounds of Spain. Trained under the legendary Rafael Nadal Academy, her game was built on discipline, patience, and emotional intelligence. She wasn't the loudest hitter on tour, but her footwork and anticipation bordered on telepathic. For Eala, tennis was personal. She carried not just her rackets, but the dreams of an entire nation yearning for its first major WTA champion. Every time she stepped onto the court, she represented millions of young Filipinos who saw themselves in her quiet courage. Victoria Mboko, on the other hand, was pure lightning. Born in Canada to Congolese parents, she had burst into the WTA spotlight with charisma that lit up every stadium she entered. Her game was built on explosive power, thunderous serves, fearless forehands, and a rhythm that could swing a match in minutes. If Eala was the artist, Mboko was the storm. And tonight, art and storm were about to collide. The opening act, precision meets power. The match began at 7 p.m. sharp. The first serve was Eala's, smooth, precise, painting the corner of the box. A clean ace. The crowd erupted. Mboko smirked. Nice one, she mouthed across the net. Her reply? A 195 kilometers per hour missile down the middle, followed by a forehand winner that screamed across the court like a lightning bolt. From the very first game, it was clear this wasn't going to be just tennis. It was going to be a war of philosophies, tactical versus instinctive, silence versus roar. Eala's movement was poetry, fluid, efficient, every step a calculation. She redirected Mboko's bombs with surgical precision, forcing long rallies, extracting errors. But Mboko's aggression was relentless, her shots painting corners with reckless confidence. The crowd gasped, applauded, and cheered after nearly every point. At 4-4, the rally of the night unfolded, a 42-shot exchange that left both players gasping for air. Drop shots, moonballs, volleys, slices. It was a masterclass in modern tennis. Finally, Eala unleashed a cross-court forehand that kissed the sideline. The umpire's call, "Game, Eala." Moments later, she sealed the first set 6-4, the stadium roaring as she pumped her fist. But if anyone thought the champion Mboko would crumble, they were mistaken. The champion strikes back. Between sets, Mboko's coach leaned over and whispered something that would change the momentum entirely. Don't play her rhythm. Force your own. And that's exactly what Mboko did. She began the second set with ferocity, hammering serves that clocked nearly 200 kilometers per hour and charging the net like a lioness on the hunt. Eala tried to adjust, but Mboko's tempo was overwhelming. She hit winners from impossible angles, each one punctuated by a primal shout that echoed across the arena. At 2-2, she broke Eala's serve with vicious backhand return. By dawn the next day, every major outlet was ablaze with headlines. Alex Eala stuns WTA champion in Hong Kong thriller. ESPN. The Queen has a challenger. Eala defeats Mboko in epic showdown. The Guardian. Filipina fire meets Canadian power. A rivalry is born. BBC Sport. Rising star no more. Alex Eala has arrived. Tennis World. Back in Manila, the victory triggered a national celebration. Government buildings lit up in blue and red. Fans danced in the streets, and students proudly wore shirts with her name. In Toronto, Mboko's fans flooded social media with love and encouragement. She'll be back. One tweet read, "Champions aren't made by trophies. They're made by matches like this." What it meant, to outsiders, it was just a tennis match. But to those who watched, it was a story of resilience, courage, and evolution. For Eala, the win symbolized the rise of Asia's new tennis generation, athletes who train globally but carry their homeland in their hearts. She became not just a sports hero, but a symbol of hope for the Philippines, proving that excellence knows no boundaries of geography or privilege. For Mboko, the loss was a reminder that even champions must continue to evolve. She later told an interviewer, "Every great player needs a rival who pushes her beyond her comfort zone. Alex is that for me." And just like that, a rivalry was born, one that the tennis world would come to cherish. The glow that never fades. Later that night, Eala stood on her hotel balcony overlooking the Hong Kong skyline. The city was still alive with light. She could hear faint cheers from below, fans still celebrating. She smiled, her heart full. She knew this was just one chapter in a much larger story. Her story. A story still being written, one match at a time. Across town, Mboko was back in the gym, already working on her serve. Her eyes burned with quiet determination. "Next time," she whispered, "I'll take it." They were two sides of the same coin, competitors, visionaries, dreamers. And as the world turned its eyes to the next tournament, everyone knew one thing for certain. This wasn't just a match. It was a message. The future of women's tennis had arrived, and its names were Alex Eala and Victoria Mboko. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.